This is true of Fox News and New York Times. They really fail to understand people who disagree with them. I don't even think they try sometimes. They can only chalk it up to laziness or stupidity. They could never think that there's a camp of people out there that might think it's in their proactive best interest to vote for Donald Trump. And they will struggle to succeed in affecting change in the world if they cannot imagine an intelligent person who thinks differently. Mm-hmm. And this is true. It's true of the other side as well. People who think, anybody who doesn't like Trump is a snowflake, or they're just soft. They couldn't imagine a reason. I guess I have to practice what I preach now and think this is an intelligent writer, right? This person clearly, they work at the New York Times. They went to an excellent college.
Yeah, they know who their reader is.
Yes. And perhaps this is all part of a perfect system working, what I mean? Where this article is not intended to equip people to change the world, but it's just intended to reinforce beliefs. Okay, maybe they're not stupid, maybe they're just lazy, No,
it's like student loans, man. It's the system's operating perfectly. The thing I think is fascinating when you go to any news article or any public thing like this is they make you think that the country is so divided, mm-hmm. and that there's these extremists on the left, and that's the entire left, and there's these extremists on the right, and that's the entire right. And I think it's just a really loud, annoying minority on both sides. I actually think that if you just picked random Americans, they would agree on a lot more than they would disagree, no matter where they were from. Mm-hmm. Pick San Francisco and Alabama.
Yeah.
And you just pick the random ones. They don't have to be extremists. You're just grabbing them out of populace. They would just agree on 80% of things. And on the stuff they disagreed on, they probably wouldn't get that heated. I think we get painted in this world where, especially the opposite side is like totally insane. Mm-hmm. So if you're a Republican, then the Democrats are totally insane. But not the ones you're meeting that you get along with fine at work. Yeah. Just the ones on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're a Democrat, same thing. It's not how the world is actually operating, I think. I think the country is mostly people that would get along reasonably well and share a lot of the same values.
Yeah.
But that's not an interesting news article. No one would buy that or click that.
Well, we've talked about this before. What is this in defense of? If it's just a world full of people acting in what they perceive, of on average similar intelligences, acting in their own best interest with the same amount of apathy or interest as your side, then the problems aren't coming from some lazy or evil boogeyman. They're coming from people like you, which means that you could be people like you, aka you, are causing a lot of the issues.
Yeah, probably you're just born in a different geography.
Yeah, well, no, you are causing the issues. That's the whole point. It's you. You're the problem. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're the one that has to change. You're the one that has to open up. You're the one that has to become less, what is the word, judgmental of others and tolerant in all the ways which you don't perceive yourself not to be.
We talked about this. I won't even say the publication, but there was a journalist at a news organization, and the title of the article was "Insert Opposite Size News Team Watching Impeachment Trial and Only Covering Things That Support Their Side. It's ridiculous." And that was what they said. It's like, yeah, this is true, but it's also true of you. Like, you're right in your criticism, but you should also level it at all of your coworkers as well as the people on the other side.
Yeah. But of course, then you have to ask why. And it's a perfect system to...
It sells stuff.
Well, why does it sell? Why is that the message that people want? And I believe the answer is because what we want is a defense against the onus of personal change.
Yeah, we're also wired for in-group, out-group. Mm-hmm. We're just wired for it. So it's really nice when you label someone the out-group and then blame them for your problems. Because when the in-group is the cause of your problems, that's tough. Now you need a nuanced solution that doesn't burn bridges because you need the in-group. But when the out-group is the source of all your problems, that's great. Because the in-group's great, and screw those guys. And that's kind of the easiest way for the human psyche to exist.
Yeah. I was reading a blog post from the last psychiatrist. I've mentioned him a couple times. I would love to get him on the...
Has he come public with his identity?
Never. Yeah. Now, I happen to think I know it, but if we got him, that would be sick. So he's a very intriguing, provocative writer who stopped probably 5-6 years ago, but I still go back to because he has one of the freshest takes, even on stuff that's happening today. He's just got a different view than everyone else. And one of the things he mentions that sort of made me think of this was if you're under the age of 40 or so and you say things like, or I guess 50 is now the word, 50 is the age. If you say things like, wow, Mad Men is so much more authentic than the movie JFK, for instance, then you're in the Matrix. Because what they've effectively convinced you is that you do not need to experience reality in order to have an opinion of it. And the reason that it reminded me of is because people talk about Trump voters or Bernie supporters with very limited experience of them, believing that if they only tune into the news, that is somehow a surrogate for having actually experienced a Trump supporter or a Bernie supporter. And that's just you in the Matrix. When you read the polls and you do, like, you have to go, at some point you have to have the rubber hit the road, come down to reality and speak to someone, speak to several different people. And that's not necessarily, of course, statistics are useful and you can glean all sorts of interesting insights, but I think most people would learn so much more from hitting the pavement, speaking to someone who disagrees with them, than they would from reading more or listening to more news articles at this point. We're all in the Matrix, man.
Next current.
Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.